teams. And with Enterprise State, you are getting one of the 4 unbeatens in the country. They are just outside of the top 15, and obviously at some point, if they keep winning ball games, they are going to find their way into the top-ranked teams in the country. They're the ladies who will start things off. Cisco, O'Brien, Rhodes, Long, Griffin, Vigil, and Phillips. And, of course, on the other side of the floor, got some Coastal South ladies that would like to go ahead and just put a blemish on that mark right here, right now. Craven, Rollison, Stewart, Sanders, Holloman, Wilson, and the libero Boudreaux. And there you have it. The ladies who are on the floor first as we get this one underway. Hi, everybody. Robert Williamson set to bring you the coverage. And your coverage not only available on the website, it is available on YouTube. So if you want to go to YouTube, watch the game there. I don't know if it's better there than it is on our website, but you can subscribe while you're there. And, of course, you get those alerts anytime we've got sports coming up. We'd love to have you as a subscriber. Tipped over by Stewart. Able to get underneath with Cisco. Nice pancake, but trying to bring it back over the libero. That was Boudreaux, and not able to do so. We are tied up at 1. Well, not only has Enterprise State won just about everything they play, well, everything they have played. There have been very few sets they have not come away with a victory. As a matter of fact, in the ACCC, only LBW with a set win over Enterprise State. It is driven over by Tivana Preston. And the lead going over to the Ball Weevils, and the serve continues in the hands of Jaslyn Cisco. 9 aces on the year for Cisco. There is her 10th. Well, you bring it up and she does it. 10th ace on the season on a team that averages 2.5 aces per set. You know, the interesting fact when looking at these Enterprise State numbers, which obviously are very good as a team, they don't necessarily have that many standouts from the perspective in the top 5 in the ACC statistical categories. Driven over by Wilson, and Wilson makes it a 3-2 game. Talk about somebody who is vitally important to a team. It is Rachel Wilson. Wilson tops in the team in kills and hitting, in aces, and in points. Alexandria Miller will serve for Coastal South. Miller 6 aces this year in a 3-2 contest with 2 serving 3. Rhodes, the libero, gets to it first, jammed over from the right side by Phillips. And the serve on the other side of the floor, short-lived. We are, by the way, at a unfamiliar location, except that we were here last week. But I'm talking about a spot that typically doesn't house junior college volleyball. That is Bay Minette Middle School. And while renovations are being done to Coastal South's gymnasium and campus, here's where we will be. Set the mid part of the floor. And you've got a net fault. Point awarded to South, a 4-3 game. Well, South not familiar with these 1-3 and 2-10 starts. And would suggesting right here, right now is a perfect time to get things back rolling. As that goes long for Miller. And it becomes a 5-3 game. And I'm looking to see where the score is being kept on the floor. That'll go out, aiming for the corner, and the serve continuing for Katie Phillips. Phillips, a .246 hitter. Sanders, just a little bit long. Makes it a 7-3 game, but yeah, I'm looking around the gymnasium to see where the score is being kept. Want to make sure I'm right. Able to reach over and get it was Preston. Trying to rocket it across was Griffin. Tipped over by Miller, able to get underneath is Phillips. Preston, part of the block that denies the kill from Craman. Preston will save, Craman will tip it over. Able to get there is Phillips, tipped over by Vigil. And Holloman will drive it across. Makes it a 7-4 game. And as I mentioned, I'm continuing to look around the gymnasium to see if I spot anything that gives me an indication of the score. And I see nothing, so hopefully I'm close at 7-4. That is in. Some dropping in the aces, Craman. Craman on the season, 6 aces, 71 digs, leads the team in the digs category. Drives it over, picked up by Cisco. Setting up Preston, lobs into the backcourt. Back set, that is, I believe, Rollison that drives it over. Over the mid part of the floor, setting up Rollison. Rollison will drive it into the net. Well, the last time we were here, which was the first time, there was a little flip chart giving us the score. I don't see that little flip scoreboard. As O'Brien goes along with the serve, and Sanders will do the honors for South in an 8-6 game. Brianna Sanders, 8 aces on the season, the libero. Roan's able to go get it, but sends it into the net. And Sanders will serve again. Drives it over, aims again for the libero. There to get it, Rhodes with a dig. Over to Cisco, drives it. Setting up the opposite side of the floor. Alleman will tip it over, back over goes Griffin. And Enterprise State building a 2-point lead, 9-7. Well, I am wondering if there might be a scoreboard just above the stage. And maybe that's where the score is being kept. I am seated on the stage, so I don't have a look at the scoreboard situated underneath what could be the way they're keeping score here in the arena. I gotta feel like that's happening. And the fans and the players know what's happening. Stewart driving it over. Able to save it was O'Brien. Into the backcourt to Boudreau. Drives it down the line and tips it off Griffin. Coastal South serving 8, serving 10. That is Miller on the far side serving. Got those dark numbers up against the dark jerseys on the other side of the floor. Sometimes difficult to pick up. Wilson trying to get the kill, but instead it is Enterprise State point, and serving is Christina Vigil. Vigil tops on the team in assists. Tops on the team in assist percent. Tops on the team in aces. And aces percent. Bumped over to Phillips, drives it over. Boudreau there. Rhodes able to get to it. And that is flipped over by Long. Enterprise State building a 4-point lead here in set number 1. A little different floor. As I mentioned last time we were here, it's a rubber floor. Whereas typically these ladies used to playing on those hardwood varnished floors. Stewart driving it over. Rhodes able to get there. Back over it goes to Cisco, and she will drive it off of Craman. 13-8 contest. Vanessa Howell, the head coach of Enterprise State, Richie Delaney in charge of the Lady Coyotes from Coastal South. That goes long. Service error from Vigil. And I believe it is a 13-9 game. As I mentioned, no access to the scoreboard from my vantage point. Bumped over to Vigil, setting up Cisco, drives it across. Over to the opposite side of the floor, that is Wilson. And Wilson will get the kill. Sends the Coyotes to double digits at 10. Well, that one bounced all over the place and may have gotten a piece of my camera, kind of shifted things around a little bit. So let me stand up and adjust. As I mentioned, I'm here on the stage, which is in the line of fire. Cisco to serve. Wilson sending it over. It's off Preston and out of bounds. I didn't think that incoming had actually hit anything, but apparently did. Maybe caught the arm of the tripod and sent our camera a little weeble wobbly. But maybe we're back now to the look you want, the ace from Miller. And you got a timeout on the floor with a break in action and a 2-point contest. We're back after this.
It's the dreaded appointment. You've put it off long enough. You've run out of excuses. And now you've got to face your fears head on. Fortunately, there's someone there who won't hold your feelings against you. Somebody whose efforts instead will give you your best selfie smile. You'll thank her when it's over. Be somebody. Enroll in the Dental Assisting Program at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Opening set, Enterprise State 11-0 overall, 4-0 in the conference. But Coastal South giving them all they can handle here in the early stages of the first in a 14-12 contest. With 12 serving 14, Rhodes picking it up in the backcourt over to Preston, lobs it over. Free ball. It is sent to Wilson. Wilson drives and goes long. Enterprise State. Next outing, we're going to see what a lot of the conference is like with the next outing from Enterprise State. They head up to North Alabama. Driven over by Sanders, able to get their Vigil and take on the Calhouns, the Wallace Hansfuls, and the Roan States of this world, who are all teams that are either in the ACCC or right outside of the top 20 in Division II volleyball. Rhodes, the libero, will serve. And Coastal South with an opportunity to prove themselves tonight. Against the top team currently in the South. Coastal South on their home floor, and this is their home floor for the time being, 1-0. As a Roan team, Enterprise State is 6-0, 3-0 at the home of the opposition, and 3-0 at neutral sites. Then will drop in for Wilson. And it's a 4-point ball game. Bay Minette Middle School, which I see some youngsters that could be Bay Minette Middle School volleyballers. Driven over, aiming for the corner. It got fingertips on the way out. Phillips makes it an 18-13 Enterprise State lead. I want to mention the fact that we are on YouTube too. Hey, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We want to alert you when stuff's coming up, and yeah, we want lots of subscribers too. Driven over by Alleman. Able to dig it out, Cisco to the other side of the floor, Vigil. And is bumped over, and Alleman blocked by Griffin. Coyotes not able to return. And Enterprise State taking a 19-13 lead. Katie Phillips serving the 246 hitter on a 229 hitting team, tops in the ACCC. Enterprise State 5 away from taking the opening set. South wants time.
Preparing for surgery is like getting ready for the big game. You arrive early. You get your mind right. You make sure every tool is ready and the team has the right equipment. Your patient may never know your name. They may never realize that somebody cared enough to ensure all the little tasks were done right. But that's okay. You do. Be somebody. Enroll in the Surgical Technology program at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Opening set, Bay Minette Middle School, Coyotes and Ball Weevils. Coastal Alabama South, Enterprise State. Enterprise State, the 7-point lead. And that will go long from Vigil. Make that Phillips long with a service error. In the conference, South 1-3 with losses to North, to Bishop State and LBW. And a win right here against Wallace-Selma. Rollison sending it to the corner there to pick it up. Phillips over the opposite side of the floor. Preston drives it. Enterprise State with a 21-14 lead. Preston coming out. Into the lineup is O'Brien. O'Brien, number 4 in the conference in aces per set. Over to Alleman. Sent over from the left side by Cisco. Lobbed into the backcourt. That is Miller. Setting up Adelaide Griffin, and she'll drive it into the corner. And Enterprise State makes it a 22-14 contest. Launch to Sanders. Miller will drive it over. That is Cisco into the backcourt. Cramen able to get to it. Back set, Rollison. Over to O'Brien. That will travel into the net. Serve will go to the other side of the floor, and South makes it a 7-point game. Brianna Sanders will serve. 155 hitter on a 150 hitting Coastal South team. 5 aces on the year for Sanders. Rhodes the libero, first to retrieve. Cisco drives it. Cramen able to get to it. Sent over by Miller. It is saved. Wow, what a free ball save by Cisco. Stewart able to drive it off Rhodes. 22-16 game. Sanders again serving. Rhodes gets there first. A tip over by Vigil, and that will go out of bounds. And get Enterprise State within 2 of taking the opening set. Adelaide Griffin on the serve. Fisted over by Stewart, just trying to get it inside the antenna. Shoved over to the opposite side of the floor. Cisco. And Boudreaux is there to retrieve. It is off the antenna. Alleman trying to kill it. Sends it into the antenna and sends the Ball Weevils a point away from set point. Served over by Griffin. Driven across by Craman. Back over to Cisco from the left side. Again, Craman there. Feeding it to Alleman. Back set. Put over by Long. Nice save by Boudreaux. Craman launches it over. Bumped over to Cisco, left side, drives it. Craman able to get to it. And it's Alleman with a drive. Again, the save off the block by Phillips. Saved by Alleman. Bumped over Alleman. Hops up after the dive. Able to get there was O'Brien. What a volley between these two. Back set. Stewart. And that will go out of bounds off of Griffin. So a colossal battle between the two, and South stays alive in set number one. As Alleman serves, Sarah Alleman tops on the team in assist with 185. O'Brien gets it first over to Cisco. That is blocked by Stewart. (24-18). We have been at set point for a bit. Got the ace. Trying to see from this far distance who that is serving. That is Alleman with the ace. And still in set point. Rhodes' first pass, bumped over to Cisco, drives it from the left side. Pulled back over by Miller. Boudreaux able to get to it. Rollison aiming for the corner. Nice save by Phillips. Back set to Stewart. Drives it through the double block of Long and Cisco. And the Coyotes draw to within 4, prompting a Boll Weevil timeout.
You're organized, driven, focused, ready to create the life of luxury in the most beautiful and unique locations, locally and around the world. Discover hospitality management at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Coyotes have been playing with their back against the wall for the last 4 or 5 points. And still looking at set point now, 20 serving 24. Alleman launches it over. That will be driven through the back line by Long, and the opening set is a victory that belongs to Enterprise State. Hard fought by the Coyotes, but they will come up 5 short. And Enterprise State, who has only lost 1 set in 13 this year, win the opening set here. 25-20. Boll Weevils, we are back with set 2 right after this.
Discover pastry baking at Coastal Alabama Community College.
just about all White Jones County. Diving catch at shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Kraft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it.
University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. Empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus. Visit online.ua.edu.
Is the 7 guy. Right up the middle, base hit, back-to-back base hit. Starter with a double, the single from Cumbie coming to the plate and tagged down at home.
Think you need a 4-year degree to make good money? Think again. Get training in your own backyard. Master electrical and mechanical skills, process controls, hydraulics and pneumatics, and land a job that can take you anywhere. Start your path to a career that pays. Discover electrical and instrumentation technology at Coastal Alabama Community College.
We get set number 2 underway. And the ace from Alleman, second Alleman ace of the game, and this one will start set number 2. Well, Coastal South scoring the first point in set number 1. They get the opening point in set number 2. Moving down the line, picked up by Phillips, and South takes a 2-zip lead. Coastal Alabama South 1-3 in the conference, winning 4 sets, losing 9. Overall 2-10. Cisco with a nice save. Preston with a kill. Overall 7 set wins and 32 set losses for the Coyotes, as Christina Vigil will serve. Freshman who's been in all 11 matches, 36 sets. And that will go off Wilson for the ace. We're tied at 2. And reminder, Friday football right here on JockJive, Bayside Academy in Jackson. At least that's the plan. We're still making sure that we got permission to go to Jackson and bring you the ball game. Saturday, a lot of stuff. GMC football, Georgia Military College, as Wilson make that. Phillips delivers. Georgia Military College and Monroe. GMC back into the top 15 with that win over Lackawanna last Saturday. And got some more baseball. United Baseball Organization has their, it's kind of a training camp of sorts in the fall. Sent over by Stewart. Phillips able to get there. Cisco driving it and dropping it in front of Craman. So the Coyotes score the first 2, the next 4 belonging to Enterprise State. And serving is Christina Vigil. Her 3rd consecutive serve. Able to get underneath Boudreaux. Over to Wilson, and Alleman hit it twice. No, got a lift. Illegal hit. And Craman pleading as the liaison between the umpire and Dr. Richie Delaney. Getting an explanation, and Craman provides that explanation to Coach Delaney, and I'm not sure if she's content with it, but we'll get to the play with a serve by Vigil. Wilson drives it. Cisco able to get there high into the gymnasium here in Bay Minette Middle. Over to Wilson. Preston able to get underneath. That is tipped over by Phillips. Back set to Stewart. Preston with a block, but it will drop in front of Rhodes. And Randall Rollison will serve. The sophomore with 3 aces on the year, averaging about a half point per set. Phillips first pass. Alleman able to get there. Over to Wilson. Drives it, picked up by Phillips. Another Phillips return. Stewart shoves it. Roan's able to get underneath. Preston drives it. Boudreaux there. Pumped over to Wilson. Roan's able to get to it on the far sidelines. Phillips over to Vigil. Back set to Craman. It is shoved over. Vigil, then Cisco and Phillips into the net. And Enterprise State doubling up on Coastal South. 6-3 ball game with Anna Grace O'Brien checking in. Number 4 in the conference in aces per set. Back set to Stewart. Obs to the opposite corner, or lobs rather. Left the L off. Obbed it over. Bumped by Vigil. Cisco, nice save on the dive by Boudreaux, but not able to get a second pass was Alleman. And again, O'Brien will serve. Boudreaux backs it over to Stewart. Lobs it to the opposite side, picked up by Phillips. Mid part of the floor, that is long, aiming for the corner, but hit it twice. Sanders checking back into the lineup for South. Boudreaux to the sidelines. Stewart coming out too. And checking in is Grayson Snow for Coastal South. Blocked by Wilson. Popped over by Craman. Trying to dive and get there, O'Brien and Kent. And South within 2. And Alexandria Miller will serve, the sophomore. 12 matches and 37 sets this year. Has seen Miller on the floor. Cisco will drive. Sanders and Craman with a block. Shoved over to Wilson. And Wilson. It will go out of bounds off Vigil. South within 1 with Miller serving this time from the left side of the floor and drops it in for the ace. Seven apiece, Ball Weevils and Coyotes. Miller with the serve. Cisco's got it. Vigil sets up Phillips, able to get there, Alleman. Over to Wilson. Wilson will send the free ball across. Setting up the mid part of the floor. It is off of Miller and out of bounds. And Enterprise State taking a 1-point lead with the serve belonging to Rones the libero. The freshman libero sending it over. Snow's there first. Back set to Wilson, now playing the right side. Blocked by Griffin. And that will go out of bounds off Sanders. Rones again serving, 13 aces for Rones. Leads the team in digs with 159. Setting up Craman in the mid part of the floor. Cisco with the first block. Over it goes to Phillips. Blocked by Wilson off Phillips and out of bounds. And Rachel Wilson will serve. Tops on the team in kills with 83, hitting at 259. Aces with 13. And points at nearly 3%. And the Coyotes have knotted it up at 9, prompting an Enterprise State timeout.
Think you need a 4-year degree to make good money? Think again. Get training in your own backyard. Master a skill to land a job fast. And start your path to a career that pays. Discover welding at Coastal Alabama Community College. So what are you waiting for?
Nine apiece, set number 2. Coyotes and Ball Weevils sent over by Wilson. Rhodes bumping into the front line. Cisco driving it off of Alleman. Miller tried to dive and get there, could not, and coming out of the timeout. Ball Weevils scoring the first point. Turn it into a 10-9 game. Next outing for Coastal South is on the 22nd. They're up in Hansville, Alabama, too. For that big Wallace Hansville bash. Speaking of bash, pretty good win there. Driven by Griffin. Boll Weevils with a 2-point lead. Next time Coastal North is at home, 26th. And I believe that is Tuesday. Miller diving, not willing to let it sell, not knowing if it would stay in or go out. Back set Craman. Off of Cisco. And that will head into the stands, and Enterprise State has scored every point since the timeout. Three straight. Phillips with a serve. Miller's there. Setting up Alleman, and Alleman into the net. And that will prompt a Coastal South timeout, hoping for the same fate. Come out of the timeout with a lot of points. We'll take the break, too, in a 13-9 game.
What's up, y'all? Here at Coastal Alabama. I'm about to go and get this leg day started. Let's get it. We're here again after today. You're... Oh! Hey, let's go, baby. Let's ride. Yes, sir.
Thanks so much to Coastal Alabama South and, of course, Coastal North as well. We bring you volleyball for both. Compliments of AD Daniel Hand and company. Thank you very much. Tipped over by Craman, dug out by Rhodes. It will drop in front of Sanders, and that is 5 in a row scored by Enterprise State. Turning a 9-9 game into a 14-9 contest. Snow over to Kinsley Martin, who has checked into the ballgame. Shoves into the corner. Cisco drives. Miller able to pick it up. Craman, free ball, bumped over Rhodes. Setting up the mid part of the floor. Driven over by Griffin. Alleman through the Griffin block. And the Coyotes snap that string of 5 in a row scored by the Boll Weevils. Make it a 14-10 game, 10 serving 14. Craman leading the team in digs with 71 on the serve. Cisco drives it. Down to the dive. Martin with a nice save, allowing the Alleman free ball. Over to Cisco, a little too deep with the pass, able to get it over though. Alleman with a dig, and that's into the net. Ball Weevils with a 5-point lead again, matching their largest lead of the set. Largest lead of the match has been 9. Coyotes led 1-0 and 2-0. Got there too quickly, and Rhodes couldn't adjust the hands. Stewart coming back into the game. Miller will go to the sideline. Snow out of the game too. And Rollison is back in. Sanders will serve. Preston, first pass over goes to Griffin. She'll drop it in the corner. Ball Weevils again by 5. Adelaide Griffith, the sophomore middle hitter, who's been in 11 matches and 35 sets, sends it over to Alleman. Able to go and get it was Martin. Dug out by Cisco. Phillips aiming for the corner, and too strong with the Martin pass. Put right back over by Long. Enterprise State, 2 in the conference in kills, 1 in hitting, assists, 11 in blocks per set, 2 in aces per set, 4 in digs per set. And we'll go Alf Alleman and out of bounds. Coastal South, number 10 in kills a set, 9 in hitting, 10 in assists per set, 13 in blocks, 11 in aces per set, and 12 in the conference in digs per set. Martin tracking down the Alleman pass. Boudreau sending it over. Over to Preston. Stewart the block into the net. Alleman got a piece of it but put it in the net. Rollison and Craman trying to save it and couldn't. And Enterprise State taking an 8-point lead, prompting a Coastal South timeout.
About to start my day, but first, coffee. Here with my Coastal crew. Woo! And that's how I end my day at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Well, here's what's coming up on JockJive. You got Bayside Academy and Jackson football on Friday. Monroe and Georgia Military College Saturday. Got the United Baseball Showcase in Lafayette, Louisiana on Saturday. And plus we'll be producing the Clark Atlanta Miles game for the SIAC on ESPN+. Next week, a lot of South volleyball, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday against Coastal North, Bishop State, and Bevel State. All right here. 19 serving 11. Enterprise State trying to take the commanding 2-0 lead. South trying to tie it at 1. That is into the corner. And South getting the point coming out of the timeout. Alleman will serve. Martin coming off the floor after some quality minutes. Wilson with a breather, back onto the floor for South. Cisco gets underneath. Back set, that's wide for Long. And it's a 6-point game. Everybody wants to be playing in Mobile at the end of the regular season. Into the net for Cisco. And then you want to be playing in Cedar Rapids, Iowa for the Nationals in D2. That will happen November 15 through 18. Setting up Preston, drives it. Stewart's there. Boudreau got a piece of it. Nice save by Cramen, giving Boudreau the opportunity to send the free ball over. Campfire, but it will go out. Cramen got a piece of it. Alleman and Stewart trying to get to it too. And Boll Weevils 5 away from a set 2 win. South 11 away. Sent over by Vigil. Back over it goes to Wilson, and Wilson sends it into the net. Christina Vigil will serve. And apparently got a little perspiration on the floor. It's been taken care of, and we get back to the action. Christina Vigil will serve, the freshman. A lot of freshmen on this squad. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for Enterprise State. That'll go off Preston and out of bounds. Coastal South, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 freshmen. Rollison, the sophomore, sending into a freshman on the other side of the floor. Phillips, nice Cramen save, but it will still wind up getting into the stands. Enterprise State has only been in one 5-set match, and that was against Northwest Mississippi. Tipped over by Wilson. Nice save on the dig by Vigil. Cisco able to get there. Snow back in. Tips it over to Ottoman. Dinks it across. Sends it into the corner, and Boudreau tried but couldn't come up with it. 23-15 Enterprise State. Launched over by O'Brien. Setting up Cramen. Aims for the corner. She's got it. Well, this is where Coastal South came to life in the opening set. And eventually would narrow it to a 4-point game before Enterprise State makes it a 25-20 win. Miller sending it over. O'Brien got to it first. Cisco. Snow retrieves in the backcourt. Wilson from the left side. O'Brien, first pass. Back set to Cramen. Lobs to the corner. Phillips is there. Cisco. Miller able to get to it. Back over to Wilson to the left side, and she will go long. With her fingertips, officials say no. And as I mentioned earlier, I got my back to. It's kind of an odd setup. I'm in a kind of a cubby hole, not able to see the scoreboard, but if I am accurate, the ace, then that should end the game. And it does. 25-16 in set number 2. So a couple of sets in, Enterprise State has won them both. We are headed to set number 3, a must-win scenario for the Coyotes of Coastal South.
It's early here at Coastal Alabama, but I'm going to head over to the student union and maybe meet some friends, and then I'll head to class. I finally made it to class. See you later, Coastal fam. It's early here at Coastal Alabama, but I'm going to head over to the student union and maybe meet some friends, and then I'll head to class. I finally made it to class. See you later, Coastal fam.
Just about all White Jones County. Diving catch at shortstop. Gross. Towards the gap. Diving catch in center field by Ben Aklinski. There is a shot towards deep short. Kraft's got it. Long throw over, and he got it.
University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. Empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus. Visit online.ua.edu.
You made it. You went further than even you believed. You took your friends, your teammates, teachers, and coaches. You needed Dad, but Mom was there through it all. See, you didn't do it alone. It took a united effort. It also took you. United Baseball is a full-time organization focused on development and advancement of athletes. If you're a high school-age baseball player with the desire to play at the next level, you could be next. Log on to unitedbaseball.org to learn more.
Couple of Enterprise State wins and one more sweeps. South trying to avoid the sweep. Looking for a set 3 win. Nobody Wilson tips it over. Preston able to get underneath it for the 3rd consecutive set. The opening point belonging to the Coyotes. As it is put over by Wilson, but obviously if you look at the first 2 Enterprise State wins, that scoring first hasn't been a factor. Back set to Preston. And that will go off Boudreau up against the wall. Great to have you watching tonight's coverage. A reminder that every Coastal North and South volleyball match at home is right here on JockJive. Compliments of the folks at Coastal Alabama. Craman able to stick it over, able to get to the return vigil. Phillips drives it. Boudreau able to save with the dig. Wilson tips it over. Miscommunication between Rhodes and O'Brien. And South back out in front, 2-1. Serving is Miller. Back set, Griffin drives it. And that will head towards the hallway and out of bounds. 2-2, Boll Weevils and Coyotes. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You get all those alerts that let you know when we've got coverage rolling. I mean, you don't want to miss the stuff we've got, right? You're looking for a sports alternative. Sanders trying to get around Miller. Miller had gone to the floor while trying to return a toss. Then she and Sanders run into one another. I don't think it had an impact on the play, but didn't help the play either. And Lillian Rhodes will serve. Lillian Rhodes, 159 digs on the year. That's tops on the team. A little too far outside of the antenna for Wilson, and Wilson just had to hope, hit and hope. Sent over by Rhodes. Cramen able to get there. Sanders. It is off of Phillips and drops on the Enterprise State side of the floor. Meaning the Coyotes will serve, doing the honors. I believe that is Wilson. Cisco able to pull it off the net. Nice save by Alleman. Phillips aiming for the backcourt. Wilson drives it. Able to get there is O'Brien. Over to Cisco. Tips it over, but tips it out. And we are knotted up at 4 with Wilson again serving. And as I mentioned, I believe this is Wilson. I'm looking to the opposite side of the floor. The view you've got is the view I've got. And as I mentioned, those dark numbers sometimes difficult to pick up against the dark background on the back of the jersey. Stewart will crush it off of O'Brien. And the lead belongs to Coastal South with Wilson continuing to serve. Phillips coming off the floor, checking in for Enterprise State is Keela Dodson. Dodson, a sophomore outside hitter, who I do not believe we have seen thus far tonight, but have now. Griffin and Cramen able to get to it. Setting up the mid part of the floor. This time, Griffin will drive it into the corner. And Dodson, who has 8 aces serving. Stepping back to serve, an 094 hitter. 39 kills. Setting up Cramen. Cramen will drive it off of Rhodes. Well, when you look at the Enterprise State losses in sets, there's really not a rhyme or reason. It's not all first sets or all second sets. Their loss to LBW, I believe, was I think it was a first set. No, it was about a second or third set loss. They do have a couple of first set losses. I believe to Pensacola State, which, by the way, is a ranked Division II team. And to Pasco. And then is Alleman. And there is a violation for South that awards the point to Enterprise State, makes it a 7-6 game. And again, Cisco on the serve. Cramen first hit. Sanders brings it back onto the floor. Tipped over by Miller. Over to Preston. Sanders with a block. And we are tied at 7 each with Sanders serving. Rhodes first to retrieve. A little bit of a set, and then the dink by Griffin. Vigil able to get there. Preston drives. Cramen high into the air. It will go off the ceiling. Or actually off the side of the gymnasium. If you're actually off the ceiling here, then you have really sent one skyward. You'd have to try to hit the ceiling here to hit it, especially at its apex. Is that the highest point? Cisco reaches, able to get it. Dodson bumping it over to Preston. Preston with a free ball. And that is out from Alleman. Adelaide Griffin serving. 2-point Enterprise State lead. Men are able to get a piece of it. Stewart drives it over. Preston, Boudreau with the dig. From the backcourt, Cramen, and she'll go long. Enterprise State 3-point lead. They won the first couple of sets, 25-20 in the opening one, 25-16 in set number 2, and there you've got an ace. A little mishandling, I think, by Ottoman, yeah. And the ace for Griffin, who's pretty adept at the aces, 34 to lead the team. Over it goes to Stewart, lobs it over. Cisco able to get to it. Setting up the mid part of the floor, crushed over by Long with a nice save. And then a little joust on the net. And the point belongs to the Coyotes. Alleman serves, Rollison and Stewart there, along with Wilson and Cramen in the middle of the floor at the moment. Lobbed over to Cisco, a little too strong with the first pass, and all Stewart's got to do is reach over the net and dink it across. Within 2, the Coyotes. And Sarah Alleman serving. 5 aces on the year for Alleman. Over to Rhodes. Setting up Preston. Flips it over. Cramen able to get there. Over to Wilson. Drives it through the block and out of bounds. Turns it into a 1-point game. And that's got Coach Vanessa Howell asking for time. We'll take the break too, as we are a point separated in set 3.
It's the dreaded appointment. You've put it off long enough. You've run out of excuses. And now you've got to face your fears head on. Fortunately, there's someone there who won't hold your feelings against you. Somebody whose efforts instead will give you your best selfie smile. You'll thank her when it's over. Be somebody. Enroll in the dental assisting program at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Coyotes get to within 1 with Alleman serving. 10 serving 11. Tip the net, but Rhodes able to get there. It is popped over by Long. Weevils will score first coming out of the timeout. Vigil will serve. Freshman 283 hitter. Cramen first pass. Over goes to Wilson. Drives it off Preston. And the Coyotes back to within 1 with Rollison serving. Randall Rollison, 3 aces on the year. Has been in 9 matches, 21 sets. Anna Grace O'Brien serving. A sophomore with 18 aces on the year, second best on the team. That heads this way. Caught fingertips on the way out, and we've got a 1-point game again. 13-12 contest with Alexandria Miller to serve. Sophomore with a negative 100 hitting average, and yeah, you can have a negative average if there are more errors than kills. And in her particular case, it's not like a drastic number. I mean, you've got no kills and 1 error. So that obviously can skew things. Tipped over by Cramen. Back set to Dodson, drives it. Alleman is there, Cramen sending into the mid part of the floor. Snow in, tipping it over. Dodson driving it across. Little joust on the net, Cramen and Cisco. Wilson. O'Brien able to get underneath. Setting up Cisco, drives it from the left side, blocked by Sanders. Twice by Sanders. Into the backcourt. Sanders drives it off of O'Brien. And it's a 1-point game again. (14-13) contest. And Rachel Wilson will serve, 13 serving 14. And the ace from Wilson ties it up. More aces than any other Coyote, 13 coming into the game. And adds to the total and knots it up at 14. Two Enterprise State set wins. So this is a must-win scenario for South, and you've got the ace followed by the error. Back to a 1-point ball. We will lead with Dodson again serving. Got the ace. A reciprocating one. And a 2-point advantage for Enterprise State, trying to improve to 5-0 in the conference. 12-0 overall. Coastal South trying to go 2-3 in conference play and win their second straight. Go to 3-10. That is blocked, but out off Griffin. Cramen will serve. Sophie Cramen, 6 aces on the season. Back set, blocked out of bounds by Alleman. Jaslyn Cisco, the sophomore outside hitter, to serve. 11 matches, 37 sets, 92 kills, 157 hitter. And she'll send it into the net. This has been one of those nip and tuck games. Enterprise State leading for the bulk of the set, but it hasn't been a substantial lead. Goes to 2 on the kill by Griffin. And Griffin will serve. Hitting .409 on the season. But doesn't have quite enough kills, as that is into the lap of Martin to qualify for the statistical lead in the ACCC. But can't be that far away. 74 kills, 137 attacks. And launches an ace. Boy, she just fired that one. Builds a 4-point lead for the Ball Weevils and prompts a Coyote timeout.
Preparing for surgery is like getting ready for the big game. You arrive early. You get your mind right. You make sure every tool is ready and the team has the right equipment. Your patient may never know your name. They may never realize that somebody cared enough to ensure all the little tasks were done right. But that's okay. You do. Be somebody. Enroll in the Surgical Technology program at Coastal Alabama Community College.
4-point Bowl we will lead as we resume play. Into the backcourt, picked up by Cisco. Back set. Did it get fingertips? It didn't on the way out. Boudreaux reached, couldn't get there, and Long goes long. Alleman will serve. And that will go long. And wind up right here, literally in my lap. Hey, when you're at the end of the floor, you can get in on the action, and I did. I can't say I did particularly well in on the action, but did get in. Preston. She'll go long. Coyotes 7 away from forcing a fourth set. Enterprise State 4 away from wrapping it up. Randall Rollison serving. Cisco sending it over. Boudreaux able to get to it. Over to Wilson. Blocked by Preston. Checking into the lineup to serve is Anna Grace O'Brien. Just nibbled the top of the net. Nice save by Craman, but it's put right back by Long. South wants to talk. 23-18 in set number 3.
You're organized, driven, focused, ready to create the life of luxury in the most beautiful and unique locations, locally and around the world. Discover hospitality management at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Well, just as O'Brien was serving, you got the buzzer from the scoreboard. That may have been an unintentional buzzer. I think it's the first buzzer we've heard from the scoreboard, so I would say yes, unintentional. Get a reserve. Stewart sending it over. Picked up by Vigil, dropped over. Both diving forward, Stewart and Snow. And we are at set and match point. 24 serving 18. Wins of 25-20, 25-16. And currently 24-18. O'Brien serves. Picked up by Craman. Over it goes to Wilson. Tips it over, drops it right in front of a diving Vigil. And South still alive in set number 3. I believe that is Alexandria Miller serving. Puts it over to Rhodes. Back set. Griffin. And that's off Wilson and out of bounds, and that is your ball game. So this one is over. It's a sweep by Enterprise State. As I mentioned, coming in, the only team that's notched one, as in one set, against this Enterprise State squad, LBW. Otherwise, they have swept everybody in the conference. Now 5-0 in conference play, 12-0 overall. While Coastal South will fall to 1-4 in the conference, 2-11 is the overall mark. Next Coastal South outing happens on Tuesday, and we'll be here. It's a big matchup. Coastal North, Battle of the Coyotes coming up on the 26th. We'll have the coverage. Don't forget, too, that we've got football on Friday, Bayside Academy and Jackson. Junior college football on Saturday, Georgia Military College and Monroe. And got some baseball Saturday, too. United Baseball Showcase in Lafayette, Louisiana, all on JockJive and on YouTube. Hey, don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. What else have you got? TikTok, Threads, you name it. Hey, if it's a free service, we take it. Would love for you to subscribe and follow and befriend. Until Friday night, I'm Robert Williamson. For all the folks with Coastal Alabama and JockJive, so long, everybody.